Here is my grandfather's tractor that he built about 75 years ago. Originally, this was a roughly 1927 Chevrolet passenger car. And Grandpa said, I can't afford a tractor, so I'm going to make my own. Took the passenger car, got rid of pretty much all of the body, chopped off the windshield, got rid of most of the hood on the bottom here. Put in two transmissions, a pair of 3-speeds, so he's got 9 forward gears, technically 10 because you can do reverse. This seat was added later. That was added in the 90s. Passenger could sit in the gas tank if they wanted to. Added a truck axle. Out of what exact truck we don't know, but my uncle thinks it was a 1920s Ford. It's a pretty interesting differential setup there. I don't think it has to have some kind of differential action in there, but he says it's some kind of worm drive axle. So there's the worm drive at the top, runs along there, and the gears itself is in there. It's a 2-piece axle. Some kind of 20s Ford truck, we're thinking. Of course, it's solid mounted to the frame because you don't need suspension on your tractor. Grandpa made a flatbed for it because you got to haul stuff around on the beach. Here's the lug wrench slash starter crank. Of course, it has electric start on it too, so we don't actually use that to start it. Pretty big wheels. They're actually wood, I think, with steel pieces. Yeah, pretty big tires. 975 20s. Custom tread to go down the sand and the beach better. Pretty basic dashboard here. 4 boards, literal boards. Cable operated brakes. Open the hood. Here's the engine. Even though it's 1927, it does have overhead valves on it. And a pair of Siamese intake ports and an updraft carburetor. That's not the original carburetor. It's got an adapter plate on it here. The radiator my grandpa broke. Ran a tree limb into it many years ago, so he brought the tractor home and it overheated and seized up the engine, so we had to rebuild it. And had to get a new radiator too because the original Chevy radiator was no longer available. So I believe this is out of a Model A. I could be wrong, but we did have to make adapters for it. That's what these are right here. I machined those and lathe myself about 30 years ago when I was just a kid. Same thing for the lower radiator hose there. And only the highest quality radiator cap we could find. Try and get some better light here. There's what it looks like from the front. The other side of the engine. We're actually pulling the cylinder head off right now, so we don't have the exhaust port connected. I would say manifold, but there is no manifold. It's just a single port in there. All 4 exhaust ports in the head come out to that single point. And this exhaust system we threw on there after we had put the engine back in many years ago. It's been converted to run a Ford Pinto distributor. So the distributor was machined and stuck on the back of the generator, which is how it worked in the day. That's the oil pump you're looking at right here, driven off the back of the generator. Generator doesn't work, and we converted it to 12 volts, so it does have a standard Chevy single wire alternator on it, which seems to work fine. And the starter spins over a hell of a lot better too. So that is about it. Hope you enjoy.